I wanted to be in the best sport, and VIPs was the best.
It all came into one thing, that the way they were dressed, the way they looked, the way they marched, the way they played. It was first class all the way. We felt we couldn't lose.
For me, a kid coming from Southeast Washington, it meant always holding your head up no matter where you're from, and make your family and your friends and your community proud of you.
Unless you lived it, you will never really understand the significance of it.
Southeast is an area that did not have a lot of opportunities for kids, and in particular, black kids.
This community was rough. This community was real rough at the time.
Stolen cars, breaking and entering, kids just doing dumb things.
You could become involved in alcohol. You could drop out of school. You could become pregnant and begin having children.
And the feeling was, okay, for people who have nothing or have always been suppressed or looked down upon, give them an opportunity and they'll outstrip those who had it all.
If it wasn't for Father St. Amand, there would have been no VIPs.
Father St. Amand sort of had that ability to ignite people with his dream.
I saw a little raggedy parade come down Morris Road, and don't ask me where they ended up, and I saw what was a small drum and bugle corps, and I thought, well, they seem to be like 7th, 8th grade age, and we have a 7th, 8th grade. Why can't I do that?
For a priest on the Hill to say, I want to create something here that brings children, young adults from the community together to march in what people would say a band, was pretty amazing.
I grew up with music. It protected me, it kept me out of trouble, fell in love with it, gave me some income, and it enriched my life.
He was always there. And looking back on it now, I do realize that he invested a lot of his time and any money that he had, and his emotional self as well.
It was like, oh, wait a minute, Mom mentioned that we had an insurance policy as kids. So I began to think about, well, I wonder what I could get from that. And she said, well, if you cash it in, who knows? I think when I cashed it in, it was $500 to $600.
He bought a set of horns. He bought a whole set of instruments. That's what helped the VIPs to go into competition.
You got to take in mind, you're talking about kids that work all summer, 7 days a week, sometimes 12, 13 hours a day for a performance that lasts 13 minutes. It was fun competing and getting on the bus, but we had to earn that. And if you weren't in line with everything, guys would check each other. There's no talking, there's no horseplay, there's no grab ass, as they call it. Our instructors were in the military and at the highest ranks of the military organizations representing the United States.
The commander would give a cadence, and we all would turn our backs blindly and throw our equipment to each other. And at that next moment, you catch it, you turn, and you walk.
Once we started, we realized, we can do these things, and so the better we became.
We got banged in the head sometimes in practice. I got stabbed I don't know how many times. I got a cut across my ankle because I was supposed to jump a flagpole and duck a rifle at the same time. And then we loved it. During that time, all of the major corps were all white.
Breaking into that field as a black drum corps, there were some slighted feelings.
We got judged in some situations where we knew we had won. The crowd knew we had won. And the competition was embarrassed, knew that we had won. And in music, you can hear it. You don't need anyone to judge it for you. Your ears will tell you the difference.
We lost in one of the shows in which we know we won that show. And it was like 1/10 of a point or something we lost it. 1/10 of a point.
Getting mad at people in this country for like being racist is like getting mad at a baby for pee-peeing in their diaper. They don't know any better. That's what they do until they learn better.
Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee. Police have issued an all-points bulletin for a well-dressed young white man seen running from the scene.
The bell rang, and the announcement came over the loudspeakers of Dunbar that King had just been murdered. They were closing the school, wanted everybody to leave, go home, because they anticipated trouble.
I remember the night that the riots happened in 1968, and we were all kids in the Corps. And it was a night we had to practice. And what was significant about that is, you know, there's this beautiful view of Washington here. But that night it wasn't beautiful. That night it was in flames.
With all this stuff going on, we maintained what we were doing.
We were standing on the hills watching the flame, playing a song called I Walk with God. And you think about the significance of that, it really says something about the spirit of the people at that time.
Ultimately, we became Maryland State champions, and people in the drum corps arena weren't very happy about that, but we won, and so there was nothing they could do about it. We just represented everybody.
And when we came out on the field, and that, just to see that group just walk out in the field, it just took all the fight out of all those groups up there. It was just like, you know, a heavyweight champion walking in there, and you seen a heavyweight champion come in there. So we know we're not gonna beat these guys.
When it all happens the way it should, it is an out-of-body experience for you.
At the end, when that gun goes off and you turn and it's over, you can fall out. You know, you can cry, you can scream, but for that time, you're to take everything, the best that you can do, and perform and do it.
You would have thought we had won Super Bowl. You know, it was just a great feeling that legitimized our efforts.
It came to a head. I mean, it was just like, this is what it was worth. This is what we've been working for. And to be named out of all of those guards, the world champion, winner guard, it was awesome. We believed that we could accomplish whatever we wanted to do. We felt that if we go out and put in something new for 5 minutes before we go on the field, we could accomplish this, we could do this. And I think the kids today are missing it. They're missing having someone to say to them, you can do it.
I believe it is extremely important today because our kids don't have, you know, these sorts of activities, drum corps activity, to cling to.
It could bring the community together. It could bring, in fact, not just the community, it could bring the city together. The city need to be brought together with a lot of young folks because they're taking away the music in the public schools. So a group like the VIPs would be ideal.
For kids to have that opportunity now would definitely change their lives for the better.